Hi everyone, if you have used Studio for any length of time, you know that once a month there is a patch release and you are faced with this option to update or not. And if you're like me, this always leads to a little trepidation because inevitably there's going to be bugs that get introduced in the new update. In this video, I'm going to talk about some common causes of bugs in Studio and what you can do about them. So since I've started doing these tutorials, I get asked questions all the time about Studio, and many of them have to deal with the bugs that people encounter and how to fix them. I'm not a software developer. I'm not in behind the scenes and know how these things work. But what I can give to you is some advice on some things that you can do to help Studio fix the bugs and how to prevent yourself from being affected by the bugs in the future. So we have a few different sources of these issues that arise. One comes from patches itself. We have to understand that Studio is a beta product. We are testers for it. It is not a final release. So every upgrade that Studio does may insert some bugs, and it's up to us to report those bugs and hopefully to fix the issue and make Studio better. Of course, that being said, there are definitely some technical issues with Studio, and when compared to a lot of other CAD software, it definitely falls short of that mark. I've heard different talk from different people who know more than I do about these things, that some of it has to do with the Unity engine and some of it with how Studio deals with handling data. But let's go through a few of these issues that you might find and hopefully at least help to alleviate some of the frustration. At Playwell Bricks, we pride ourselves on providing our clients with exclusive professional quality designs. If you go to our website, you can find out about our team, the projects that we've worked on, and how you can contact us for your own design. And if you're on Facebook, take the time to check out the Studio Lego Designers Facebook group. This is a fantastic community where you can show off your latest designs or get help in Studio. Hope to see you there. One of the biggest issues with Studio I find is the memory leaks. When I'm doing a big model, which often I'm working on huge models, if I scroll in really close and try to look at parts up close at a certain angle and add parts in, it inevitably is going to take a long time for the part to appear, and oftentimes Studio will just crash right out. I've also noticed if you're going through Instruction Maker and you're going from one submodel to another, just like what's happening right now, there's a whole lot of slowdown going on. And again, that is because there's a lot of memory leaks in Instruction Maker, and the way that Studio handles submodels seems to cause this error to occur. So Studio has asked anytime that we encounter memory leak issues if we can go and report that to them so that it gives them a clue on where these memory leaks are occurring so they can dig into the code a little bit more. Another issue I often hear about is the way that Studio handles some of its procedures. One of which is if you had gone and done your layout in Instruction Maker and then came back to the building mode and changed some of your steps around and then went back into Instruction Maker to look at your layout again, everything would be messed up. Your callouts will be on different pages. The way you've arranged columns and rows and layouts would be all changed. So to handle this, never do your layout until the very end of the build. Make sure to go and have all of your steps arranged exactly how you want before you ever get to the layout section. Now, it would be nice if there was a link between what happens in the building mode and the instruction maker, but that doesn't seem to take place at this point. So hopefully in the future that will be the case. The next thing we'll talk about are the bugs in Studio. There is no doubt it is filled with bugs. There are lots of little things that crop up that are wrong with it. The best thing you can do when you encounter a bug is go to the Bricklink Studio forum. I'll post the link in the description below. You can go there. Right off the top, there is a topic that is how to report a bug. So you can file the bug there. And recently, Sylvan LS has become a moderator for the forum, and he has done an amazing job at posting all of the bugs and suggestions that people have made for Studio. So if you encounter a bug, you can go through that list, see if your bug is there. If not, then you can add it to the list that needs to be worked on. There's also the option of emailing Studio directly themselves. I've done this myself, and it's been a good experience. They usually get back within a day or two, and it's always a positive outcome. They're really nice to deal with, so that's always a good option. Crashes can be a really big issue, especially if you are in the middle of a project and you haven't saved and it crashes out and recovery isn't an option. Usually there's auto recover in Studio, but sometimes it doesn't work, or sometimes it will corrupt the file and you'll lose submodels and custom parts and a whole lot of other things. So my advice, first of all, is to constantly be using Control S. Like, try to train yourself every 5 minutes just to press Control S. It's going to save you a lot of headaches. Also, make sure to save your files in different names. So, for instance, version 0.1, 0.2, etc., or save it by whatever day it is and the time. This will alleviate that big frustration when, and it will happen, when Studio does crash. When it does crash, what you want to do is get your crash report, and that is available through your user file in Windows or Mac. You follow the link, follow the path to get the crash report. You can go on to the Studio forum and find out exactly what that path is, and then you can send the crash report either again through the forum or through email to the Studio team so that they can try to correct that in the future. Okay, back to this screen. You're just about to update and you've decided to go ahead with it. Typically, I would caution you to wait a couple of days at least until the known issues are found with the new patch. I used to update immediately as soon as I got the patch notifications. I hold off now, and as you see, I still haven't updated, and this patch was released 3 or 4 days ago because there are some issues that have significantly impacted some users, so I'm holding off until the hotfix is released to fix those. But you've gone ahead, you've done your update, and you've encountered those problems. So what do you do now? You've tried the reinstall, you've tried everything, and nothing is fixing the issues. So what you're going to have to do is install an older version of Studio. Thankfully, there's a simple option to do that. So on the download screen for Studio, if you go to the bottom of the screen, there is a drop-down box that shows all the versions of Studio that have been released so far. So you can just pick the last stable version that you are using, download that version, and install it. And you can also install it in a different folder if you want. So you can have a separate version of Studio running. So I know it's really frustrating when Studio doesn't work properly. This is what I use for my livelihood, so it typically means that I'm gonna lose time and money every time that Studio crashes or a bug severely affects the outcome. But really trying to keep in mind that it is a beta, that we are the testers, and the more information that we can provide to the Studio team will make this piece of software better. I've been using it for 2.5 years, and I will say that the Studio from back then to Studio now is a significant improvement. They're constantly doing little tweaks, making it better. So just keep plugging away at it and keep offering your suggestions and emailing the team with your crash reports, because it will all make a difference. And we all want this product to be as polished as possible and to make it a pleasure to work with. So please continue to help the team out with those efforts. I have a lot more videos planned in the future. If you have any suggestions for videos, please leave it in the comments below. Please remember to hit the subscribe and bell so that you get notified whenever I release a new video. As always, thank you so much. Have a fantastic day. Keep dreaming of bricks. Bye-bye.